got two pieces here, both of them done in plein air in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Strike that. The one on top is done in Placitas, which is just north of Albuquerque near Bernalillo. Both of these were done in plein air. The top one was done in one shot with very little touch-ups. I touched up the bottom of the road a little bit, and it took about 6 hours. The bottom one was touched up a little more extensively than the top one, but I was on site in one day and I got about 90% of it done in one shot. It's a big painting for being out in plein air. I'd say it's 36 by 42, and the other one is somewhere between, I don't know, 26 to about 44 or 45. Now, when I make these paintings, I use wood that I get from Home Depot, and I have a miter saw, and I make the first initial cut, and I eyeball how big I want it, and then I match the second cut to it. So I'm not using inches in my measurement. I'm just kind of looking at it. That sometimes doesn't work out well for me. As I look at this top one up here of Placitas, these are the sandias. I painted this in December. You can see that there's snow, December of 23. You can see that there's snow still up on there. And then you can also see that the sandias are rolling outward. You can see the space between those hills as they turn into foothills, as they turn into foreground, and it comes out. And look at the width of it. I started training my eye when I'm scouting. When I'm scouting, I'm driving or walking around, and I'm trying to not just see the focal point, but I'm trying to look, physically look as wide as I can. And as I do that, then I start to notice the tops and bottoms of things and the sides, and I'm able to create real depth. And you look at the picture of Placitas, you can really see that depth, and I'll have the camera follow it. Now watch. And you're getting right up in that road, and see, you can follow right up in that road, and as you follow right up in that road, you can go up into the foothills and through the foothills and into the crest. And then vice versa. You can see the depth of it. Over here on the left-hand side, you have something similar. You can see that foreground and how it recedes into space. And the sandias aren't on, you can see the bottom of them, they're not on a straight line. You can see how they curve, and they actually do that. The one below is a park that is right off of San Mateo. I'm not sure what the name of the park is, but it has an arroyo that is running through the middle of it. This arroyo was in one of the scenes of Stranger Things. And it's what reminded me of this park. And I went back probably in late January, maybe early February, in the early morning. I got out there about 9 a.m., maybe earlier, and I was out there till about 3. And when I paint, I don't stop. A lot of people will come up and talk. I'll talk to them, but I don't get up and I don't look. Some people are kind of put off by that, but I'm busy. You see the moon in there hanging out? Look at that. It's almost 3-dimensional. If you ever look at the detail of a Velázquez painting, you see how loose it is. I wouldn't call it impressionistic. I would just call it, it's really what it is it's not drawing first. The color is leading the space. And And you see that the relationship of that cloud to the moon, but as I get in, look how abstract it is. So there's not much going on in there. You see the people in the park and the bridge I was talking about. And look at the depth as it goes back into space. There's people walking in the arroyo, frozen moments on the ground. And these trees, these fantastic trees, which I painted back to front. See, and I would paint this background behind first, and then I'd get the tree on top of it, and that creates that overlapping, literal overlapping. And look how high I get up on the trees. And I train my eye to follow the limbs all the way to the end. There's a mode of plein air painting that's quick, and I am quick. I'm painting from the gut. But I dedicated myself to painting these in longer sessions. 5-hour sessions, 6-hour sessions. And I've got a big oil-filled suit that keeps me warm in the wintertime. Big old hat. Shielding me from the elements. I'm in decent shape because if you're standing out in the sun, whether it's in the cold or in the heat, or if you're just standing in one place, concentrating intensely for 4, 5, 6, 7 hours with very few breaks, you're spending a lot more energy than you think. Go to www.chriseasleyart.com to see more.